so 30 minutes of cardio is complete. And honestly, it wasn't even 30 minutes of cardio. It was 30 minutes of Clash Royale and TikTok. Nothing that's really draining me, at least mentally, right? Honestly, the act of doing the cardio, it's all in like the preparation, actually like being in the gym in the morning and doing it. That's the easy part. But I know you guys aren't into it, so maybe I shouldn't push the subject any further, and we can just check the post cardio. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess there is no pump, more of a just a check-in. Oh Jesus, this thing is just drenched. So this inadvertently became fasted cardio because I didn't want to. Well, I just didn't really want to eat anything right when I got up. So I haven't taken my vitamins yet. So I'll take those when I get back to the house. Because I mean, you guys are always freaking out about me taking them with food so that they're perfectly absorbed. Honestly, I feel like if you take them with whatever, you're fine. But you're probably right. You're probably right. So this is the trimmest that my midsection will be through the whole day because I've got no food in my stomach, obviously. All right. Dude, I'm fucking tired. I got a class at 8:30. My sleep my sleep schedule was insane. I went to bed at 10 last night. So I'm fully rested for arms later. Okay. That's enough. Let's cut to breakfast. All right. So this is going to end up being a little bit more basic of an omelet than I would like. I had some pre-packed lettuce packets that I usually throw in here with the egg whites, but I don't know why I thought lettuce wouldn't go bad. As soon as I opened up the package, it just fucking reeked of what I guess fermentation. Typically, that's is that even worth saying? Don't eat something if it smells bad. So instead of actual egg whites cracking them individually, just getting a carton is going to be way quicker. So 46 grams. 46 grams is 5 grams of protein. So if I want 50, I need 10 servings. So I need 460. So I'll put it on the scale and zero it out. And pour in the egg whites. 280. 380. 450. 460 on the dot. So I'll just let this freaking cook up over the next couple of minutes. And then we can cut to actually eating it. I don't think we need to sit here for 15 minutes in silence watching these cook up. Nearly cooked through, but not burn at the bottom. And then we'll just put one slice of American cheese in the middle to flip onto the inside. All right, so while the eggs were cooking up, I took the liberty of packing myself a elementary school lunch of a bunch of little carb smart. All right, I'm fucking losing my mind. I gotta adjust this. A bunch of there we go. Perfect. A bunch of carb smart PB and J's. So you gotta go in your bread aisle, And the one that I like the most, it's called Live Carb Smart, and it's in like hamburger buns, a loaf of bread sliced, hamburger, no, what am I saying, hot dog buns. Honestly, the bagels kind of suck. I'll be real with you. The bagels, you can tell that it's not a legit bagel. But honestly, if somebody gave you one of these keto buns with like a hot dog on it or any kind of, and there's nothing special about it. Just because it's a hot dog bun doesn't mean it has to be a hot dog. But if somebody gave you one of these on a sandwich, you'd have no idea. You wouldn't have no idea that it's even different than normal bread. And it's got like, I don't want it, not 10 times, it's got like 5 times less carbs. I'd say a normal hot dog bun is going to have at least 20, whereas these only have 3. So that's perfect for me. So I'll eat that later because most of my classes I have like an hour and a half break in between, so I can just come back to the house and eat some food. But I'm gonna be gone until about 1, so I've got 8:30 to 1. That's a substantial chunk of time. I'd rather pack these, which I know are going to be pretty filling without having that many, calories in them, than like going to the vending machine and getting like a little bag of Chex or something, right? Which, I mean, that would be fine as long as I stay under my calorie limit for the whole day. But, for the most part, just normal foods, it's not insanely filling in the sense of like if I were to eat a whole bowl of cereal right now and get like and eat so much that I'm as full as I am after I eat this little omelet, it would be like 150 grams of carbs. So, name of the game with dieting is foods that make you feel full but don't have too many calories in them. That's the basic gist. So, I'm not just going to eat this thing plain. I'll put a little bit of no sugar added barbecue sauce on it. I mean, egg whites are very plain. It's not like really you could put fucking anything on egg whites. I honestly, there's this one kind of like buffalo sauce that I really like putting on this. Like it tastes super good, but it kind of sucks because it's got like 10 grams of fat per serving. So just another example of why you got to be careful about your condiment choice. Okay, so that makes 37 grams. A serving is 32, so I'll just up the carbs a little bit to account for that. I'm not going to do the exact math and type into my phone 4.78 grams of carbs. No, I'll just say 5. So 5 grams of carbs. All right. So after this omelet, I had a little electrolyte packet when I woke up, so that's 12 grams of carbs. And then once I eat these 4 little PB&Js, that'll put me at about 900 calories. So that means by 1 o'clock I'll only have 900 calories. That's perfect. I would not want to be at like 2,000 already eaten at noon, because then if I'm going to stick to my diet, that would mean that I only get 500 for the rest of the night. For the most part, I find it's much easier to be more sparing with my food in the morning and then eat a little bit more at night so I can go to bed full. I might have been a little ambitious by saying that I didn't burn it. It's just it's a little brown. It's fine. It's not that bad. Oh, whoa, whoa! I didn't track the slice of American cheese. 4 grams of fat, 2 grams of carbs. It says 4 grams of protein. It is a dairy product, but it is like, processed to an insane degree. Let's just count that as 2 grams of protein. There we go. So I'll sit here for a little bit longer, go shower, and then go to my first class. So let's cut to the car talk for arms. All right, I think everything is in order. For anybody who loves those moments where the fucking tripod falls over in the car, I hate to disappoint you, but I got a fucking little high-tech looking suction cup to the windshield. So now we're locked in. This is turning into a full-blown production. Arms, there's really nothing different about this arm day than any other. I mean, in all honesty, at least in terms of how I, am probably thinking about going about it. Because usually, right, start off with triceps, ton of push downs, potentially some dip machines if I like whatever dip machine is available. The gym I'm going to today does not have a dip machine. Honestly, I have no idea why. I wish they would get some new stuff, but honestly, I mean, push downs are pretty good. But I do want to get some overhead tricep training in too. I love a seated overhead tricep extension. And I'm not talking about the one where like you're just using a cable. Like there's like a cable behind you like that, or over the head rope. I mean like a dedicated machine where it's like a lever arm. It just hits my triceps like crazy. The only time I've ever used that piece of equipment is at like this gym I went to in Hilton Head that I really liked. I was only there for a week. So I guess for that week I got some badass tricep development. But I want to have that all the time. So maybe I'll find a way to jerry rig some kind of overhead something. Because I don't really love doing overhead dumbbell. But then again, it's been a while since I've done it. So maybe I would like it. Maybe I would like it. But I can foresee a ton of pushdowns, perhaps some single arm light squeezing pushdowns as well towards the end. I mean, after 8 sets of those, my tries are going to be fully pumped. I can move on to curls. I don't really want to do heavy standing single leg curls today. Or what am I talking about? Single leg. Heavy standing dumbbell curls. Because I can still feel my back from yesterday. Especially kind of lower lats. I think those bent over rows hit me hard. In a good way. In a good way. You definitely don't want to get hit hard in a bad way from bent over rows. That's freaking for sure. But doing those heavy kind of loose form dumbbell curls, I end up getting a lot of back activation. So like if I can tell my traps are already sore, I'd rather do a curl that's a little bit more controlled and like a machine preacher or even just dumbbell or easy bar curls on the preacher. So I think I may be a little bit more biased to do. I'm freaking out right now. To do more probably machines and cables for buys. But sometimes, I mean, if I do a set of dumbbell curls and I just like the way it feels, I can just sit there in front of the dumbbell rack for all 8 sets and just back and back and back repeating the same set of dumbbell curls. I can just be my whole workout. I would say that arms, well, I'll say biceps are a muscle where there isn't really an insane amount of diversity in terms of the way that you can hit it. Right? When you do chest, you can do presses, but you can also do flies. So that's 2 sort of ways there. Back, I mean, you got pull downs, you got rows, you got shrugs, you got pullovers. There's a couple leg extensions, leg presses, squats, things like that. Whereas, with things like shoulders, like, side delts, you got side laterals of a couple of varieties, but it's all a side lateral at the end of the day. And with curls, I mean, I don't really think about biasing any specific part of the bicep, really. I kind of just want to, well, I guess I do in a sense, but I just want to kind of get a full bicep pump. And as long as the whole thing is burning at the end of it, then I think I did a little something right. So, not to say that you shouldn't have a huge inventory of movements, different kinds of curls and stuff at your disposal. But, if one day, for whatever reason, standing easy bar curls just feels super good and you can't even really explain why, then I'd say just, there's no need to try anything else. Just sit there and go as crazy as possible until you're done with your lift. But that is if it feels good. If it feels just like whatever, or in this case scenario, like if it feels bad, or you're just not really feeling it, just move on to a different kind of curl that you think you will like. So I think that's enough prefacing the training. Right, let's actually just get in there and start it. So I kind of picked this gym because I thought it would be less packed than the rec center, but it's dying down. It's fine. So I think instead of starting off with normal crazy heavy pushdowns, I'll just do this stack with the rope. So I won't be focusing so much on just like moving as much weight as physically possible. I'll kind of hold it for a second, really burn. You got your slow, controlled sets, and you got your fast, kind of brutish sets. As long as you go hard on either one, or probably ideally a even mix of both, you're doing something right. Okay. All right. Let's do one more like that. Okay. All right, let's do some, let's do something. I'm not really sure what. I got to think about it. So considering I'm really only doing push downs, I think I might go do some skull crushers or something after these. But based on that, I mean, there's no reason for me to move anywhere else. I'll just stay here with a bunch of attachments. I think that kind of plays into how, I don't hear this a lot now, but I have before. People complaining about arm day just because it's boring. Well, how fucking exciting do you think it's supposed to be, Like, sure, you don't get to do heavy bench and then your pec flies or whatever, but you get to blow up your arms. What else could you want? I don't care if I have to sit here and do, well, I wouldn't do this, but this is just an analogy. I wouldn't care if I just had to sit here for 100 sets, right? If that's what you got to do. But, so enough of that little talk. I'm thinking some single arm push downs will be perfect. And with these, again, just like the rope, I'm not just trying to move around as much weight as possible. Like it's a solid amount, but I'm really trying to emphasize the squeeze and hold it for a moment, at least when I'm strong. And then once I get weak, I'll do some partials. All right. That's enough of that. Tries are already fucking burning. Let's do some skull crushers. Typically, I don't really love them, but now that I've already done some heavy stuff and my triceps are pretty exhausted, I won't have to use that much weight. Skull crushers, honestly, I feel like are kind of a flawed movement just because they wrench your elbows so bad if you go really heavy. But let's, of course I say that and then I'm like, all right, let's go do it. Yeah, come on. Okay, perfect. So luckily I've got a little bit of assistance for this lift, but this is the only time you're gonna see me on flat bench, but it's a perfect setup for skull crushers. So there's really nothing else to say. One more. I like that. Okay, Paul. Fuck. Thanks, man. Yeah. All right. Let's do some normal push downs. Made it to the final movement. The whole stack, slow squeeze. Perfect. Honestly, that's really just the theme of this whole workout for tries. Just slow and squeeze. One more, then we can start some kind of curl. So apart from just trying to squeeze, I am thinking to myself that I'm trying to pull the bar apart when I get to that bottom portion, just so I can fucking get an extra little bit of oomph out of them. But tries are fucking pumped. Let's. I'll pick some kind of curl. I'm still not sure what yet. All right, so like I sort of hypothesized, I'm not going to start with dumbbell curls. I'll just start with these preachers. Something about this machine, though, my wrist doesn't love that handle, so I'll throw a D handle on there to give me a little bit more, let's just say freedom of movement. My forearms just like it a little more. So, control the weight, burn out. Simple. Okay. Let's just stick to this theme of twos. So I'll do another set here and then move on to something else. Okay. Oh. Ooh. I love that fucking contrast in that set. Because that's a seriously good burn. Because you got to think those first few reps are almost incomparable to those last three. So, solid squeeze, right? It kind of stings. Down, squeeze again, squeeze again. But just because I can't get to the top doesn't mean I want to end the set. I still had that whole, like, almost 10 reps of, like, little fucking partials in me. And I think getting those out are going to translate, at the very least, to an insane pump. So let's go do, what am I thinking? I'll do the whole stack. That might be the, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Something about my mind. If I'm close to the bottom of the stack, I kind of just want to bump it up. Maybe that's a bad thing, but whatever. So with these, I'm gonna do some straight bar curls. And I was saying this last time I did them. I need to do them in a different, well, I need to do them in a specific way so it doesn't hurt my wrists. Because when I stand here with my arms at my sides, right, my hands naturally, right, they're kind of bent inwards. So for me to wrench my hands into the straight bar position, it kind of puts them like this. My wrists hate it. But if I put my arms a little bit more so like in front of my lats and I pull my elbows together, then my hands are parallel with each other and I can load up the bar without fucking wrenching my wrists to shit. So let's just fucking squeeze these. I will say the range of motion does look a little funky because with most curls, I mean, typical execution style is you keep your elbow in the same place and you only bend at the elbow. You don't move your arm like this. But when I do these, I mean, even though I'm going like this, I'm feeling an insane squeeze. So I know it's doing something. If I can get my music playing. Okay. All right. One more. That was good. Okay, fuck. Ah. Oh my god. This is fucking sick. Whew. Whew. So I'm definitely feeling this more so on what I would describe as like this outer portion of my bicep, like the quote unquote peak. Like when I get up here and do that final flex, dude, I feel like my bicep's gonna rip my shirt off. At least the sleeve. But no joke, I mean, you know, playing back into biasing different portions of your bicep, you know, I may not think about it too consciously, but by doing a good variety of curls, like this set of straight bar, those single arm machine preachers, I feel like I hit the whole thing. So maybe don't just do one kind of curl, you know, fucking change it up. Well, let's go, let's do something else. I'm not sure. Single arm dumbbell preachers kind of just caught my attention for some reason. Probably just because I haven't done them for a while. I used to only do dumbbell preachers. For whatever reason, I thought I didn't like easy bar, but now I do like easy bar, I guess. So, but in the spirit of changing it up, let's do some dumbbells. I don't know if I'm a massive fan of doing assisted reps with them, just because it's kind of funky, and then like you're sort of pre-fatiguing your other arm. I think I'll just go to failure, and then if I need help on that last one, just so I don't rip my bicep off, then I'll grab it, you know. But same premise as fucking every set. Go hard. Oh, fuck. Whoa. That's scary. Oh, fuck. Whoa. Okay, let's put this shit back. All right. One more kind of curl, and then we're done. I like that a lot. I guess I didn't even make note of this easy bar curl, or of this easy bar. It's kind of cool, right? It's like the fucking same length as a normal barbell. So I guess I should have talked about this when I was doing the skull crushers, but whatever. So I think I'm gonna do at least one set here, just kind of, I'll say, colorful form. Like obviously the first couple reps I do, I'll try to be pretty controlled, but I won't mind a fucking brutal swing to try to just get a little bit extra out of my buys. So I'll do at least one, and if it feels good, then I'll do two and be done. Okay. All right, you know what? Fuck that. That was a good set and all, but let's finish with dumbbells. Okay, I think let's just finish with a set of standard alternating dumbbell curls. Try to squeeze hard. By now, I'm not doing the 80s. The 50s will suffice. But honestly, I might even do a drop set. I don't know. I'll go by feel. Okay, that's enough. Okay. Let's go check the pump, man. We're done. Get the exposure down just a touch. And all is in order. Let's check out this fucking pump. My biceps are literally still burning. Obviously not to the extent of like when I'm actually doing the reps, but I got some residual freaking stuff going on. I like that arm workout. I did it kind of backwards than normal. Typically I start off with like heavy shit and then I finish with squeezing movements. But starting with some more squeezing movements and then finishing with just kind of like forced reps, that seemed to do the trick too. I mean, I don't want my train to get stale. So the more I can change it up and also get pumped, the better. So let's see what we're looking like. My lats are still kind of sore from back yesterday. I was kind of feeling my traps too when I was doing those easy bar curls standing. So by now the tricep pump is diminished a touch, but bis are in full force. Oh. Oh. Dude, holy, nice. I fucking love a lat spread with an arm pump. Just because it makes my arms look so thick from the front. What are a couple other good ones? No, I can't really be dissatisfied with that. I should have done a tricep pump check too. I didn't really want to get myself out of the zone though. You know what I'm talking about? That's one thing that gets kind of cool, especially when I'm lean. You can't really see as much now that I'm pumped, but I kind of get these like little grains right up here. Well, once I get a little leaner and then posing in the morning, those come out like fucking crazy. Very nice. It's almost like bicep striations. I'm getting a little hint of them now, but they'll just get crazier and crazier over time. That's another thing. As your muscles grow, they don't just increase in size, they kind of get an extra texture to them too. You know, everybody's fucking heard muscle maturity get thrown around a billion times, but there's fucking legitimacy to that statement. Let's get some back poses as well. Yeah. All right. I think that just about does it for my inventory of poses. Let's have a little freaking discussion about or something. I don't know. There's not really anything to say. I did the workout. I got pumped, and that's the end of it. So let's think if there's anything else going on. Not really, man. I mean, I still have to go to calves, but that's just me sitting on the calf raise for 8 sets, single leg. Not really too heavy either. Really just trying to get a burn. So honestly, let's just cut to that. I got nothing to say. Solid pump as usual. So at this point, I would probably consider calves, well, in the grand scheme of like a workout, kind of like accessory work for me. Because they're not like lacking, but I do want to stimulate them. I want them a little bit of growth. Not to say that I don't want to grow them as much as possible, but this is kind of just the way I've gone about it for a long time. So I'm not going to do the Tom Platz method where he said he would just have someone add plates until he thought he was like rip his Achilles off. I don't think he said it like that, but like I'm just saying there's a couple different ways that people have done calves in the past. But the way I've always done it, at least when I do them, sometimes I'll take a little bit of a hiatus. Um, Honestly, just due to laziness. But I'll sit here, moderate weight, and sometimes I'll do slow and squeeze hard, and then sometimes I'll kind of just pump out the reps. But 8 sets of single leg calf raises, and by the time, honestly, really, it's just by the time I have a full pump, I'll be done. But I'll just kind of, eight's just kind of the number I've been sticking to for a while. So, nothing else to say. Let's just bust one out. I'm not going to show them all, but I'll show the one. Oh, wait, no, yeah, I was about to say. So, I don't like doing both at once. Because for me, when I get on here with both legs at the same time, I feel my right calf doing more work. It's got more tension. For whatever reason, my knees are like oriented and my ankles are inserted in such a way that when I do both at once, I always feel the right one doing more work. And my right one is already ahead of the game a little bit compared to the left. So, like any single-sided movement, I start with the weaker side first and match the reps to the stronger side. So if I do 20 on the left and I'm like, oh, okay, that was good, and I could do 25 on the right, I'll still cut it at 20 so they get a balanced amount of work, so the left one can catch up. But since it never does more than the right one, it'll never exceed it. If I were to just sit here and like I think this is a totally flawed method of perfecting an imbalance. Like to just skip one side and only hit the weaker one, then the fucking weaker one's gonna be stronger. The right one's not gonna get work. You get what I'm saying? Not that I think people do that, but I feel like I've heard that before. So let's just hit this one. This will probably be a slow, controlled one, and then we can get in the car afterwards. But I've got 7 more. Okay. Okay. Oh. All right, calves are burning exactly like I want. After 7 more, they'll be fucking fully pumped. I'm not even joking, I swear. Even though it's like an old school mentality, the way they explained it, when people say, oh, calves are a stubborn muscle group. I mean, it does make relatively logical sense. You're walking on your calves every day. And looking at a real life example, I always reference this. It's typically heavier dudes who even if they don't lift, they just have big calves because their calves are being constantly stimulated every day with heavy weight. It's not, apart from genetic anomaly, a 6 foot, 150-pound dude is not going to have beastly calves. So I think some constant, or at least pretty frequent stimulation is going to be good for him. And if you think that's bullshit, then do it however you want. I'm not your dad, but I'm going to sit here for a while, loiter, probably talk a little bit, and then we get in the car. Okay. All right. And with that, I think arms is complete. So I kind of had a big lunch. I went to the dining hall with some guys after one of my classes. So I did not eat a ton directly pre-training. I'm feeling fucking hungry right now. I've got about 90 grams of protein left, as well as, I forgot to bring my chapstick in. That Accutane was hitting me hard when I was in there. My lips get chapped as anything. But yeah, so 90 grams of protein-ish left, and then I think about 60 grams of carbs. So not nothing. I mean, that's pretty good. It's 9 o'clock now, so that's just one big meal and then straight to bed. So I will say this: if you don't really have the constitution to be able to go a couple of hours without being hungry, then you really have to emphasize like eating calorie, well, non-calorie dense foods, right? When I show you the little PB&Js with the keto bread, or egg whites with lettuce mixed in, which I should be doing. I ran out of lettuce though. You know, shit like that. You've got to be doing that very evenly spread throughout the day, just so you can kind of stay as full as possible. You know, part of it is just mental. Like you have to just be able to accept, okay, I'm kind of hungry right now, but I want to lose body fat, so I can't eat that much. Right? Stay under your calorie limit. But you know, on the opposite side of that spectrum, you also got to do everything you can to make that as easy as possible for yourself. You know, I could try to just do chicken, rice, you know, steaks, whatever, like just conventionally normal foods, and just eat like smaller portions. It would still work. I'd still get lean if I stayed under my calorie limit, but I wouldn't be so full. Like if I had a bowl of like 50 grams worth of rice with 50 grams worth of protein, or no, 50 grams of carbs worth of rice, 50 grams of protein worth of chicken, kind of cut up or whatever, like canned. I love the canned chicken. Then maybe like mix in some kind of sauce with, I don't know, maybe 5 grams of fat or something. You know, sure, that'd kind of fill me up a little bit, but not so much as I would if I had like, I guess the protein sources don't really change much, but the carbs, I mean, one little keto bun is 3 grams of carbs. So for that equivalent amount of calories, I mean, I could have 10 of them. So the amount of space or the amount of volume of just the food itself going into my stomach would make me feel much more full. So that's I think that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. Plan for tonight is yeah, just eat something, chill, and go to bed. My sleep schedule is, I don't want to say it's on point because it's literally only been one day, but I went to bed at like 10, and then I woke up at 5:30 for my little morning cardio pre-class. So if I can keep this up, that is the way to do it. I'm not saying you're like a badass for waking up at 5. Like I'm in my mind, I'm not really thinking, oh yeah, I'm grinding when they're sleeping. But I guess to an extent, you know, if you do wake up that early, you kind of do get to think that to yourself. You get a little bit of an ego boost. Plus, I mean, it kind of just feels good to do shit that you know is like productive. You know what I'm saying? Like me just doing my cardio in the morning, not only do I just like doing the cardio, for one thing, just because of all the effects I get from it, but you know, I wake up, one goal of the day already achieved like that. Setting myself up for success, I would say. And even if not like actual success, like I could do my cardio and then have like a completely unproductive day. I still did my cardio. That's more than you guys can say. So I was thinking about trying a new overhead tricep setup, but I need to like see if it works on a different day. Because mid triceps, I don't want to spend 10 minutes trying to, you know, jerry rig some stuff together. I want to do lifts that I know I'm gonna like. Like I'll talk between sets, but I mean, I don't want I don't want to chat for more than like 2 minutes. Then I'll do my actual set. Once the workout's over, I'll sit in the gym for an extra hour and a half, just yapping it up. Especially if I bring some food with me too. I mean, that's a perfect case scenario. But what was I even just fucking? That whole thing I just said about talking, that's supposed to be a segue to something, but now I forget. Whatever. So tomorrow's going to be a leg day. I think I'm going to go to a gym that has a ton of shit for legs. Like, they're going to have some stuff for, well, I'll just kind of break down some of the fucking machines. They got like a leg extension with a single pad and a single stack for each leg. So that seems kind of interesting. I've never used that before. Hack squat, pendulum squat. Perhaps I may even throw in, honestly, actually, I think those 3 will probably be all I do. And then just a variety of hamstring curls. I think that will add up nicely to a solid leg pump. So, and other than that, that's all I got. That's really all I freaking gotta say. So, home, food, I'll get my vitamins ready
but I'm gonna take them in the morning. I'm not really convinced that like the B12 wakes me up or makes it any harder for me to sleep, but whatever. And honestly, half the time I just forget to take my vitamins at night, and then I end up taking them in the morning anyway. So I guess that's probably a better setup for me. So I'll see you tomorrow for a solid leg pump. Hopefully you get, well, I don't know. Let's just say hopefully you have a good lift that day too. I was gonna say hopefully you have a good leg day, but fucking doesn't matter what lift it is. You gotta have a good, you gotta have a good pump regardless. But see you next time.